We begin this half hour with this morning's ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court, upholding a federal gun law for people whose former partners have threatened them with violence. Partners with access to weapons. News Center Maine's David Guilford breaks it down for us. And here's now from Mainers who work to end domestic violence here at home.
It was an 8-1 decision as the Supreme Court upheld a 1994 law meant to keep guns away from people deemed a serious physical threat to their partner. The court heard the case after a federal appeals court in New Orleans struck down the law, which bans firearms from people subject to restraining orders from their spouse or partner.
Legitimacy of the court.
Chief Justice John Roberts said the law uses common sense and is imposed only after a judge determines that an individual poses a credible threat of violence. Justice Clarence Thomas, the only dissenter, called the ruling a direct attack on the Second Amendment. The Maine Coalition to End Domestic Violence trains and supports organizations that work with victims daily. Francine Garland Stark is its executive director. She said it's hard to express how meaningful this decision is.
And if the court had ordered in the other direction, it would have taken us back to the equivalent of the Dark Ages, as it were. And instead, we've been making all of this progress, and now we can move forward with even more confidence that what we have done is in fact constitutional and right, in addition to being absolutely life-saving and the right thing.
And in Washington, our NBC crews met people who had gathered outside the court.
Trying to expand the Second Amendment, already it's been so abused as far as what it actually said, but to then say that would allow arms for someone who is threatening to kill their husband or wife is insane. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, certainly I'm thrilled. I think most Americans would agree violent felons shouldn't own a firearm. Those struggling with mental health issues should not own a gun. And those who are domestic abusers should not own a gun.
Stark added that Maine does have a protective law on the books that mirrors the federal law, but that if the Supreme Court had ruled in the other direction, it would have made Maine's law unenforceable. David Guilford, News Center, Maine.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, the Coalition to End Domestic Violence has a statewide helpline. The number's on your screen. It is 866-834-HELP. That's 866-834-4357. You will be put in contact with people who can get you help.